Yo, what's up, everybody? I hope you're having an awesome Wednesday. Thank you guys for being here for another installment of Deplorable Discussions, especially those of you here live and early for the pre-show, our little roll call. Jump into chat wherever you're watching. Say hello. I'll call out as many of you as I can before we officially start here. At the top of the 4 o'clock hour, we've got a good one for you guys today. We got the No Prisoners podcast crew in the house. So really looking forward to hanging out with 45-1, Kevin, Feisty, the whole fam. You're going to be jumping in here since TN and Pinata are both traveling. You have some special guests. So with that, let's get started. B. Frazier, Qoy, Silbor, Spicy Chemist. Good to see you guys all hanging out over on D Live. Thank you guys for being here today. Joe Elaine's all by her lonesome over on Rumble, hanging out. But give us a thumbs up over there. Share the link, everyone watching over on Rumble. Of course, pill.net, the comfy bunker, the only place to watch our number 2 of today's and every day's broadcast. So make sure you get over to pill.net and find us at 412 Productions. Let's see who's all hanging out with the fam today. We got Floyd, Due Diligence, Lance, Lightspear, what's going on? Delia out there as well. HL Paco, of course. There's Joe Elaine keeping everything super comfy. Thank you, Joe. Let's see. Facts Not Fear. Great to see you in the chat as well. And I'm going to scroll down here. All this pre-show conversation. What's up, Space Cookie? Pilled Promos. There's Maven rocking the Pilled Promos account. Great to see you, Maven. Hope you're having an awesome Wednesday. Pip's mom checking in from across the pond in Wales. We got our Harold out there as well. What's up, Harold? Barb Robbins. What's up, Barb? Great to see you. Incorruptible Guardian. Good afternoon, Mr. Gerardo. We got Snow Bunny 68. Welcome, welcome. Mad Joker. Great to see you. A from PA. How you doing? And Lucy Anders out there as well. Laura Y repping the 412. Good to see you, Laura. Let's go. Curious One, Lyle, Jenny. I hope you guys are having an amazing Wednesday. Thank you for hanging out as always. Floyd hooking us up with a cookie, a Wagyu Wednesday steak cookie. Yes, sir. Love me some Wagyu, let me tell you. Secret Weapon, good to see you. Frodo Baggins checking in from down under. We got Sig, your Dragon Slayer in the house. Chops, ITMC, Glass Wanda, Carrot Top 2, hooking up the Paul Skeens sticker. Love to see it. What a boss he is. Nezercat checking in from Wyoming. There's Clover Lily and Don Ritchie, 17. Yeah, no drunk pinata today. Or did Drunk Pinata go live today? No, he's still live right now. I thought he said he wasn't doing his show today. I must be confused. Eagle Freedom DX, good to see you guys out there. It's only 3:57, and I've already run through all the names. Don't leave me hanging. All you lurkers out there, jump into chat and say hi, so I'm not just staring awkwardly at you all. Timar, PNW, Sasquatch, here we go. Judy the Lady Pug, thank you for the cookie. Hey, 2A Freedom Rider, what's going on, man? Also repping the 412. Hey, there's No Prisoners podcast. What's up, 45-1? We'll bring you up here in a second. You and Kevin both. I see you guys down there in the waiting room. Dread Quarters, what's going on, buddy? Timar, Wang Dang Doodle, Paul Thaddeus. There's Kaiman out in South Africa. Molan Labe. Great to see you, Kaiman. Hope your Wednesday is going well. Let's see who else. In the Bushes, welcome. Lachelle, welcome. And I'm seeing some new names, so that's good. I don't recall 22. That's another one I haven't seen before. Definitely. Oh, the Drunk Pinata's flights were canceled. Well, that's not good. That's not good. Trump Red Pill 1, great to see a Russian bot in the house. What's going on? So we're getting absolutely swamped here by the pinata holics out there. Sleigh Bells 72, great to see you. Who am I missing? I feel like I missed some people. Like everybody jumped in all at once. Timberjet, yeah, his flights were canceled. I see that. Zorton PR, welcome and thank you for the cookie. Boys Blanc, great to see you. Thank you for the cookie. Qhio 17, welcome. Kjul GG17 and Range Pony out there as well. Hey, there's Roy Stones and Bones checking in from the West Coast. What's up, Roy? Patriot Mom 76. Great to have you aboard. What's up, Judy the Lady Pug? How are you today? Hope you're having an awesome Wednesday. Bitter Midget, always in Texas. Silver Solutions, great to see you guys out there. It's 4 o'clock. It's top of the 4 o'clock hour. That means it's time to officially start today's show. We'll be right back.
We will make America strong again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
Y'all for tuning in, Patriots United, doing what we gotta do to win. Be addicted, the MS7, now we're moving in. And once we take over, we won't ever move again. Where we go on, we go all, I say it with pride. No, we won't run, we won't fall, we're right by your side. The demons have taken hold, but none of us will abide. Stand strong and stand bold, that's how we'll survive. 412 is the production, Monday through Friday, deplorable discussions. We're making it hard for the deep state to function. Every time they switch up the narrative, we debunk it. Adol Nero is the power that's controlling the plight. With all you patriots behind them, cause we're all in this fight. So many rhyme for so long, but we're giving them sight. Trapped in the world of darkness, but we're bringing them light. You may even find yourself in a different life. A lot of us have, and honestly, that's perfectly fine. Because exactly where you are at this moment in life is where you're supposed to be at this moment in time. It's all by design, the patriots are holding the line. They must have lost theirs, thinking they're controlling our minds. So many trapped in mental prisons don't know they're confined. They're just slaves in the system to the roles they're assigned. That's sad, the good news is that we're waking them up. They have monopolies on minds, but we're breaking them up. Everything you thought was news, they were making it up. When we ascend, all the tyrants won't be making the cut. Let them all burn in the hellscape they create. We the people already mapped out our escape. We hold each other by the hand as we all elevate and go to a different place. They can never get chased. When I look into the future, I can see that it's bright. When this history is written, they will see that we're right. We formed our own community and the circle is tight. But I expand the circle with every word that I write. The pen is sharper than the sword when you wield it with might. Why do you think they try to kick us off all the sites? These people hate America, punish us out of spite. We are the beacons of hope in the darkness of night. So let's go, strap in, yeah, get ready for the ride. Watch the water, we're witnessing the turning of the tide. Feel the passion and the fire that you got burning inside. Take the narrative that feeding you and turn it to the side. We're alerted to the lies, replacing with the truth. We know the plan they devised, they're invading the youth. Now we're only sending vibes to start raising our boots. These demons all weaponized. Now we're raising our troops. Now we're raising the roof and sounding the alarm. Remember that it's always darkest before the dawn. Life is a game of chess. They want to use you as a pawn. You're only useful until you're not useful. Then you're gone. But not us. We're on the right team where we belong. Everybody is invited, so come follow along. We refuse to say things are right, knowing they're wrong. Adol Nero, take the mic and take flight, cause it's on.
And now, straight from the Steel City, it's your host, 412 Adol Nero.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. Thank you guys for being here for another installment of Deplorable Discussions. My name is Adol Nero. It is June 12th, 2024. With us today, we've got the No Prisoners podcast crew, 45-1 actual in the fam. What's going on, guys? 45-1, how you doing, bud?
Oh, man, I am living the dream, dude. Living the dream. Getting a years-long goal finished with the aquaponics, man. We're finally getting it in there, so gonna be awesome.
That's super.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, man. No, thank you for doing this. I see Pinata's here. I wasn't expecting him to be, so I thought I was gonna be riding solo today. So you guys jumping in and helping me out is greatly appreciated. So I really appreciate the time, for sure. What's up, Kevin? How you doing, man?
I am impressed with what you did with the green room. When I came in, I saw the swag bags and the bowl of M&Ms, and if I detected it correctly, it smells like you had like tobacco and cedar incense going. I don't know what that was, but it was fantastic. So thank you very much for having us today.
Yeah, the whole
That was so
412
nice.
production crew is always just so generous to us. We're in the green room getting ready to come on, so really appreciate it. Yeah,
I'm
they
ready.
take good care.
That's
Yes.
freaking hilarious. Well, you're welcome, guys. I'm glad you enjoy the accommodations. Just let me know if there's anything else you want to throw on the rider
No, man,
before you
it's
before you
amazing.
That's too funny. Drunk Pinata, pleasant surprise, man. I'm hearing your flights got canceled. So sorry to hear that. That works out good for us because we get to enjoy your presence on the broadcast today.
Yeah, I'm still trying to process being sexually assaulted by TSA, and I know some people say that. No, I literally there was cupping involved.
Did
Are you
you?
a
I mean, there was.
quadruple A
I'm talking
member?
about. Look, I've had relationships. I've been with
Quadruple S.
girlfriends, and I had a wife. I know what it feels like when people really press on your junk in a way
Yes.
that's a certain way.
Yes.
And I'll tell you,
Assault.
this thing took 90 seconds, and I wasn't wearing baggy clothes. I wasn't wearing anything ridiculous, and there was an explanation for why the thing went off because you guess most drawstring shorts. Sometimes they have these little things on the top and then end of essentially the shoelace, right where the ties are, and that's what it was. But I had to like pull my shorts. And next time, if it's the same guy tomorrow, I'm just gonna drop my fucking drawers and just say, "Look, here you go," because it would have been a lot better, and I would have felt better about myself.
Did you get his number?
It was immediately after I go, okay, who do I need to? Who am I reporting this to? That's
Well,
why I felt.
Did you have a quadruple S on the bottom of your boarding pass?
I have
That's
no
usually
idea.
why that. Oh, you got to look next time because if
No,
they may.
it was probably but I realized as I was looking for someone to report, I was like, that's probably the supervisor.
Boys Blog says, "I'm sorry they found the magic brownies backstage in the green room." My bad. Those are for after the show, guys. Those are for after the show.
Dang it!
Yeah, so those might
Oopsies.
kick in at some point. We'll have to see.
Nibble.
Well, Pinata, how was thinking logically today since you ended up doing a non-scheduled broadcast?
Oh, sorry, I had different audio.
You're good. How was your show today, man?
Oh, it was good. Yeah, we're on fire today. Yeah, it was fantastic. I think you want a clip?
You got something for us? Yeah, we always love to start off with something from your
Yeah.
show before we go to sponsors. If you got it,
There you go.
oh
Be
god,
prosecuted, but convicted,
Sorry, I was trying to remember the way I said it yesterday, and I completely failed.
and then somehow
Got all
manipulating
tongue-tied.
President Joe Biden into
Hey, they aren't all winners, but that's the danger of doing a what do I call this thing? An improvised show of mostly peaceful comedy. Uh-oh. Why did it stop? Okay, well, it stopped. I don't know why it stopped.
literally as you're talking about the fun of doing a live show in the clip dies during the live show. You're trying to play
right.
You're really
All right, here it
awesome.
goes. It started. I don't know why it was.
You can't beat it.
respect the rule of law. No, I'm not pardoning my son. He may appeal, but we support him and respect the jury's verdict. Wow, that is really not what you would expect. We've also got, Bob Menendez on trial, Democratic senator. We've got Henry Cuellar, Democratic congressman who is criminally indicted and going on trial.
And that doesn't matter. Those are legitimate corruption issues. Now you want to say, well, then, Drunk Pinata, you're being a sycophant. You're not looking at this objectively. I actually am looking at this objectively. Every single one of Trump's cases, there's not some allegation of like this bribery or of actual theft or FARA problems that are there and provable. There's nothing there, and there's an alternative exonerating information that's being left out when they're describing these cases. In the case of the documents hoax, the Presidential Records Act, and the fact he was the fucking president, he's allowed to do what he did. You can not like that, You can say that there's two tiers when it comes to classified documents and Trump and the rest of the people. And that's absolutely 100% true. There were two tiers involving classified documents. Trump happens to be one of the sole people on this planet that, while president, can do what he did. And that's when he did it. You can not like it, you can go change the rules, but that's it. As far as the January 6th Jack Smith case, that is free speech. There were issues with the election, and you're completely ignoring that and being intellectually dishonest to say otherwise. In the case of the New York fraud case with Letitia James, they're using a consumer protection statute, which in this particular case, Trump was the one pursuing the loan, meaning he's the consumer. So how is he being protected by this? No, that they went after the consumer. They turned it on its head, and there was no victim, or no victim of fraud, and the people that he got loans from were all happy, and they didn't care if they even could have lost money. It doesn't matter. And the fact that they try to say that somehow, look, the tax burden and other people, they have to pay different rates because of that. You can't even show that. There's no way you're able to show the impact of whatever rate that Trump had any impact or any other influence of anyone else's rate. That's completely different, because Deutsche Bank in this particular case, in my mind, would be saying that this is this particular person. This is not going to affect our bottom line with how we're going to restructure or potentially do other smaller clients. No way that's happening. What's the other one? The E. Jean Carroll. They had to go outside of the statute of limitations, and the people who are bringing the defamation case were the ones pursuing this extension of the statute of limitations. And that's bullshit. Don't even have a year. They finally had to settle down on one, which leads me to believe, I hope that Trump has some good records, because if they narrowed it down to springtime in 1996, I'm pretty sure he had a jet at that time, or at least not, if not that, cars that could have records of where he was. And if he's not in New York for that 3-month period at all, which I guess would probably not be the case, is probably why they zeroed down on that. They probably had some other press or some other public available information about where he was that they could narrow down or try to narrow it down. Who knows? But it would be interesting to see if they went with that approach, if they had some exonerating evidence like that. All right, and then we got what's left.
You're gonna have to slow down, Drunk Pinata,
6th,
because
we did Letitia James, we did the other fraud, the Fannie Willis, the RICO case is absolute horseshit. Alternative legislative electors is an actual thing. They hobbled together a bunch of non-crimes in order to say that it was a furtherance of the conspiracy, 160 odd times or whatever they did. Bullshit case. What's left? Is that all of them? I think that's all of them. And then the Alvin Bragg case. How can you influence an election when you didn't have an agreement to pay Cohen until 2017? If there's no agreement to repay Cohen through the supposedly unlawful means of trying to conceal it through a bookkeeping entry, which was on a private account and not part of the Trump organization's books, it was only because they were scanned and/or their physical copies, because Trump's organization managed the revocable trust account, which is a personal account, like I said, not part of the business. Just because they existed within the library that was the Trump organization, Bragg had filed a pre-trial motion, and of course Juan Merchan was more than willing to oblige and grant it, for them to say there was no legal separation or no legal difference between a personal account and a business account, when the statute that they're trying to bring is a fucking business statute. So, like I said, if there's no agreement in 2016 for them to do this and do this scheme, there was no combined two things that are elevated to a felony. Now, if a dumbass like myself on the internet can figure that shit out, you're damn well sure that these lawyers and these judges and all these other people understand what's going on with this, and they're counting on the public's ignorance in order to get one over on everyone. But fortunately for us, we are smarter than it. And we have been able to follow along with this, and we are hyper-focused to the point where these people feel like they're being persecuted because people have an opinion that is different than the narrative that's being pushed. To the point where the Attorney General of the fucking country is saying, "Leave me alone! I can't take this. It's like violence." No, it's criticism, and mostly on the internet, which is probably words that you're not even seeing. All right, rant over.
Damn, Pinata, you were on one today.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
say I've said this before, but if you've never seen my show before, go watch today's show because that's probably going to be the best one for a while.
We did an epic read of Merrick Garland's op-ed. We played the sad violin music and read the entire thing. It was pretty epic.
That's fantastic. All right.
After we laid out all the problems that Drunk Pinata just laid out as well, it's like, you want to tell me it's not broken? Okay, guy.
Let's take care of our sponsor here, and then we'll jump into all kind of stuff. Our one and only sponsor for today's broadcast is Earth Garden Botanicals, earthgardenbotanicals.com. You guys know all about Jolene and her awesome company up in Montana where she makes these wellness products. Jolene is a super patriot. She's an herbalist, a health coach. The woman's a genius, honestly. These products she makes are absolutely fantastic. The best CBD oil I've ever used, and I've used a handful of different brands. I love CBD products. This stuff is incredible. It's all locally and organically grown. All the ingredients are anyway on small Montana farms. The flavors are unbeatable. Orange ginger bergamot and huckleberry are my favorites, but there's other really good ones too, like peppermint, cinnamon bliss, cherry. Even the unflavored is really good because the product is so pure. There's CBD oil for pets, Delta 8 R&R nighttime gummies for a good night's sleep. Check out the Arnica salve as well. It's a topical cream for sore joints and muscles. That comes with or without CBD infused. Elderberry tonic to boost your immune system. Fire cider to clear your sinuses, which could be really helpful this time of year with allergies, really affecting a lot of people if you're feeling stuffed up. Can't breathe as clearly or freely as you want to. Fire cider could really offer some quick relief. Check out the pine needle extract or the sunshine and pine needle tea as well. Really good for detoxing. There's a bunch of other tea blends as well if you want to check those out, all you tea drinkers out there. And then, of course, the critter juice. It's fantastic. It's an all-natural insect repellent. Probably my favorite product that Jolene makes because I use it all the time. I use it on the golf course. I use it when I'm outside walking around the neighborhood. It keeps the mosquitoes and insects off you. It smells good. It doesn't feel oily and gross on your skin. And most importantly, it's just incredibly effective. It works better than any other bug spray I've ever used. So all these products are available for 10% off when you use promo code 412 at checkout. So go to earthgardenbotanicals.com, load up a cart, say hi to Jolene, and enjoy these amazing products over at earthgardenbotanicals.com. So that is our one and only sponsor. Thank you to everyone out there who continues to support our sponsors. I really appreciate it. Also, please hit that red pill button if you haven't already. Repost the show, share the links wherever you're watching, and away we go here. All right, let's just start with the Hunter Biden conviction, guys. The Hunter Biden conviction, convicted on all 3 felony gun charges for lying on the application. Faces up to 25 years in jail, supposedly. I don't think any of us see him doing 25 years of hard time in pretty much any given scenario. But what was your original take on that 45-1? What was your thoughts when you saw the conviction?
Well, what was good that came out of it was that the laptop was submitted as evidence and verified. That was really the biggest thing for me. As far as the gun charge goes, this may not be a very popular opinion, but it's the entire form that he lied on is unconstitutional in my mind, in my view. So the one thing, again, you have this laptop in discovery, right? And again, you look at the Marco Polo report on it, over 400 crimes committed. And we're going to try to give the normies a nice little gaslighting by showing, look, the Bidens aren't untouchable. Look what's happening to Hunter Biden right now. But in the reality of the situation, right? Joe Biden, while he said, oh yeah, I won't pardon him, you know what I mean? And this is just speculation, obviously. But the in all reality, whether he wins the election or not, he could still pardon Hunter. He can do it on his last day if he gets voted out. He gets another 4 years. He doesn't have to worry about political impact of pardoning him anyway. So in my mind, it's a nothing burger, really. Again, out of all of the things that the prosecutors had their hands on, they go after the gun charge that, again, in my mind, is unconstitutional to begin with. And it's hard to get excited about. You know what I mean? Like, it just seems like showmanship and theater. And then, of course, Joe Biden goes out and gives his little true and after pressure speech about gun control, and the circle is complete.
Yeah, we're gonna play some of that gun control video because it's something else. Kevin, did you have any thoughts you want to throw out there before I say what I want to say?
My immediate thoughts when I heard the guilty was that he may overdose because he is a liability. Okay, so hear me out on this for just a moment. My knee jerk was like, they're going to overdose him, they're going to kill him off because he's a liability, because now he might be going to prison. But he's Hunter Biden. Whether or not he is pardoned, he is a party boy. He is a child of affluenza. Any moment that he's not in his element is going to be a hell for him. And someone will get him to talk, is what my immediate was on this. So I'm thinking, if I were corrupt and if I were willing to throw my son in prison to save my ass, it would not be beneath me to just kill my son off. I've already lost one son. May as well as lose two. Clean it up, tie up loose ends. That was my immediate thought. That was yesterday. Today, I'm like, meh. 45-1 encapsulated it more or less like how the general feeling is today. And in the back of my mind, is he going to overdose? I just wonder.
Do you guys think it's a good thing that he wasn't charged for the bigger crimes?
Well,
now?
I had forgot about this. Apparently, there's a tax crime trial in California in September.
Well, yeah, that too.
Right. And the only reason why all that is going on is because they got caught trying to
exactly,
do
yeah.
So,
but I'm just saying, as far as Kevin, with that thought, to me, you go through that trial, or at some point during that trial, like he just ODs, right, and they get the sympathy or something from writing that into the election cycle.
A lot of emotion, because
and then it ties it off, because they're like, well, obviously with the Hunter being dead, we can't continue this investigation, and that ends with him. I mean, obviously they want it to end with him in some fashion.
They certainly don't want him to roll over.
No, and he would, because he's Hunter Biden. I mean, he has no scruples. Where are the morals? It's like, consider what you're playing with here. You're playing with a person devoid of any moral fiber. Of course you can buy him. Hunter is for sale as far as I'm concerned. The other thought I had was this, and I said this to Bruce. The laptop is real, which means that Biden, when he testified, lied. And that directly interfered with an election cycle. That part gets me, is like, okay, now we know it exists. Where do we go from here? And that's the end of my thought on that for now.
I think it's good that they didn't charge him with everything they could have right now. He's going to get pardoned after the election. I don't see any way that he wouldn't win or lose. There's really no repercussion to pardoning him, right? So with double jeopardy laws, it's good to keep some ammunition in the chamber for when Joe Biden's out of office. So it's like, okay, do these fringe crimes that are less important now, whatever, who cares? Hold the good stuff until daddy can't pardon him anymore. That's I think there's
they could kill him in prison too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Why are you're putting him into the system that we all know is broken? You know what I mean? Look at Jeffrey Epstein. You know what I'm saying? It's the same level of cover up crime that we're talking about here, and it's the same flavor. You know what I'm saying? In the grand scheme of things, he was human trafficking, and the FARA violations and everything else. It's like there's some heavy hitters, and what are you going to do? Let a judge put him in jail for 3 years, whatever? You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. That seems like you want to go after him later and then make the connections up to daddy, the big guy. You lose that if you can't turn him, and he's a loose end to the Bidens in all reality. So
he really is. I love this. This is not real. I read this yesterday on the show, and I'm going to read it again. This is not real. I don't know who actually wrote this, but this is like a fake Donald Trump post. But I wish it was real because I think it's so brilliant. It says, many people have asked me to comment on the conviction of Hunter Biden. Sleepy Joe's son was found guilty of lying on an application for a gun. Hunter Biden is a terrible person who has funneled millions of dollars from other countries to his father. Even so, it is hard to blame him for wanting a gun, which he has a God-given right to have under the Second Amendment, probably the greatest amendment of them all, if we're being totally honest. His father, one of our worst presidents, is more concerned with making the gun control people happy, so he won't have the courage to step in here and help Hunter. Don't worry, Joe. I'll save your son after I get elected for the third time. Again, this is not a real post, but
Right.
I mean, that would be such a checkmate move, right? Like, here, I'm willing to pardon your son, not because I think he's a good person or because I don't think he did anything wrong, but because the law he broke is completely unconstitutional. We have a right to hold
Exactly.
guns, and there's a Fifth Amendment issue here too. Like, you shouldn't need to self-incriminate, which those forms essentially ask you to do when you're buying a gun. I think that's Donald Trump should just copy and paste that and post it on his Truth Social yesterday.
Right. Yeah.
You mentioned the gun control speech, and again, I think
Yeah.
that there's no secret that was all timed, and the way this has played out has been kind of choreographed here. But of course, Joe Biden makes a mess of everything. Here's 3 minutes and 57 seconds of Joe Biden lying, stumbling, and gaffing through his speech. This is freaking hilarious.
The reason I'm here to say, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. I remember when I was campaigning, when I was a senator, going through the wetlands of Delaware to meet all the people who were most upset with me, the fishermen and the hunters. And I came across a guy who was fishing, and he said, "You want to take my gun?" And I looked at him, I said, "Yeah, I don't want to take your gun. You're allowed to have a gun, but I want to take away your ability to use an assault weapon." And this is how the conversation went.
Hey,
He said, "What do you
open
mean
your other eye.
I need that done?" I said, "Guess what? If you need 12 to 100 bullets in a gun, in a magazine, you're the lousiest shot I've ever heard of." Who in God's name
Well, what if there's
needs
200
a
people there?
magazine?
Need more ammo.
12 to 100 bullets. I love the range he chose too. Like, if you need 12 to 100 bullets, like that's a lot of different kinds of magazines you're talking about there.
He's
You know
getting,
that
he's getting a
right
bazillion
there,
dollars for a
that right
bridge.
there is look fat energy right there. That's when he's like challenging the guy to a push-up contest.
Mm.
All right, let's keep going here.
Which can hold 200 shells. I've attended too many mass shootings. I've gone to too many schools. Instead of trying to stop our ban on ghost gun kits that contain these that can commit crimes, they're working like hell to stop it. You can't be pro law enforcement and say you are pro law enforcement and be pro abolishing the AFT. I will no longer.
What's the AFT? That's a new one, right?
I don't know, man.
That's a fun time. Ashley's familiar with him.
Oh, a fun time. Yeah. Nobody's going to have fun around here. You hear me? This guy.
Oh,
my
it's
gosh.
better and better.
We're only a minute in.
I know. Let's keep it going.
The vice president, I became a professor at the University of Pennsylvania before.
That didn't happen.
Lie.
Did he become a professor? I don't think that's true. I think he's already been called out on that lie multiple times in the past.
Yeah.
Like,
He doesn't care.
it's just amazing.
He doesn't care.
My buddy.
Maybe.
Oh, good.
I'm
good.
sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Maybe he's quantum. Maybe we don't understand that he jumps timelines and parallel realities, and he's
When he
just
looks at his watch.
falling. Well, yeah, that's why he's looking, because he's like that show, Leap or Quantum Leap. He's never knows where he's going to end up. He's just this explorer, and we
Is he
just
go over
need-
here?
yeah,
Or is he
right,
going to end
okay.
up over here?
Just and we're all observers. We are watching Schrodinger's cat die and get up and die. That's quantum. It's just Schrodinger's Biden is what we've got here. Speaking Schrodinger Joe.
Schrodinger Joe. I love it, dude. Hashtag Schrodinger Joe.
Oh.
It's great.
That's wonderful. All right, let's see what else Biden has to say.
Before that, I taught a constitutional law class, and so I taught the Second Amendment. There's never been a time that says you can own anything you want. Never. You couldn't own a cannon during the Civil War. No, I'm serious. Think about it. How much have you heard this phrase? The blood of liberty.
I've never heard anyone say the blood of liberty. I've heard the blood of patriots and tyrants need to water the tree of liberty from time to time. Yeah. But the blood of liberty that's a new one, Joe. So I guess
what? You can own a fully operational Civil War cannon, and you could back in the day too. It's a total lie.
Oh, absolutely. Total lie. It literally says shall not be infringed in the content. If we're living by the law of the land, the Bill of Rights, what's supposed to be the very foundational document of our country, you could own an F-15, you could own a nuclear bomb, you could own a tank, whatever you could afford on the free market, you could technically own if we're actually living to the letter of the Constitution, which they have not changed that Second Amendment. There's a process for doing so if they want to. Play by the rules like you expect all of us to play by, but they make shit up as they go, like the blood of liberty here. Anyway, it's
the thing.
The thing.
We got to water the thing.
Wash it, go.
Water the thing.
Give me a break. By the way, if they want to think to take on government, if we get out of line, which they're talking again about. Well, guess what? They need F-15s. They don't need a rifle.
This is the son of the sitting president who, when interviewed by ABC last week, said he would not pardon his sole surviving son. And I remember gasping when I saw that, because as much as it didn't surprise me because of Joe.
The end of that? I haven't watched this all.
Yeah, I think that's probably the end of the gaffes. When he did the whole F-15 thing, I brought up for my viewers Anzio Ironworks 338 Lapua, or the Anzio Ironworks 20 millimeter rifle with a 3,000 yard range. I'm like, Joe, and this is just to debunk the point, like the F-15s and the refuelers and everything else, logistically, they're going to have to land at some point running missions in the continental United States. If you're going to drop bombs with F-15s on U.S. citizens, they got to land at some point. Right. So that was my answer, is like, people own these. They're like $7,000. There are gun enthusiasts everywhere that have 20 millimeter Anzio Ironworks rifles that you can literally mount to the bed of your truck and shoot 3,000 yards with armor piercing ammunition. 20 millimeter. Is this a 20 millimeter shell over here? Hold on. Let me see if this is one of these is a 20 mil.
All right. But no, it's a good point. It's a good point. And again, we've already been disarmed to an alarming rate. It's already way too hard to exercise your basic human right of self-defense in way too many states as it is. So the fact that Biden's almost like beating his chest, like, try it, try to take on the government. We've already crippled your ability to do so through our unconstitutional gun control laws to this point. And it's just like kind of flexing on the American people for it. It's pretty disgusting stuff.
It's threat. That's what all the gun control speeches have turned into. I mean, you go back to the red background speech with the Marines, shaking his fists, at extreme MAGA Republicans and making similar threats. It's like every time he gets up to a podium to talk about assault weapons, right? Which again, like you said, they just continue to erode the narrative. It was assault rifles for the longest time, to specifically point out those AR-15s. Well, they can make the AR-15 the boogeyman, but now they're telling you anything in a semi-automatic pistol that has a magazine, of more than 12 rounds is, it's just completely unnecessary. And, 3D printing guns is super scary. And, you have YouTube doing this crap now where they're limiting, these videos and trying to hide them behind the algorithm. Anything that shows selling guns, buying guns, 3D printing guns, stuff like that. And I'm like, these guys got to get their shit together, these content creators over there, and move over to places like Pilled, dude. Just tell your audiences, like, do the work. Yeah, it might suck a little bit, You might take a little bit of a hit for a while, but we're playing the long game now. Like, quit giving these communists, these Marxists, your money. Seriously, and your followers money. They deserve better. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I
So
agree. I totally agree. And what's so messed up is that, like, they use the AR-15 and then they call it assault. AR does not stand for assault rifle.
nope.
Armalite.
Yes, exactly, Kevin. It
Yep.
doesn't even stand for assault rifle. So it's like this word sorcery that they do. They make a boogeyman out of an AR-15. They call it an assault rifle, and people like it's like the level of ignorance, or it's not. I don't think it's ignorance. It's just like brainwashing over the public. Because if you ask probably 10 people on the streets what AR-15, what the AR stands for, they're going to say assault rifle because it's been beaten into their heads by CNN and MSNBC and every major news network every time you have one of these false flag shootings somewhere, where they want to, act like the gun grew legs and walked out the door and did the crime itself. It's completely ridiculous. But man, the whole thing with the gun control and the propaganda and the way they present the argument is infuriating. Any other thoughts? Oh, good. 45. You have that
No,
shell?
I was just gonna say, I think this is a 40. I think this is a 40 millimeter, but
Jesus.
if you can
Why do you have
machine
that?
if you can machine a 20 millimeter, right? Well, when I machine my 40 millimeter, I gotta know if the round's gonna fit. I gotta machine it.
true.
I'm just kidding.
Yes.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding,
Yes.
FBI. Calm down. But no, we're these things are purchasable again, and you know what I'm saying? And people have them. And you put a hole in an F-15's fuel tank while it's on the ground, and it's not going to fly for very long. I'm just like quit threatening us. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not necessary. It's a God-given right. You have nothing to do with it. The Constitution is actually telling you that you have nothing to do with it. So stop infringing. Just shut up. That's it. So if you're going to
Well-
make a threat, I'm going to debunk your threat. That's all I was doing. I'm not threatening anybody. I'm just saying that you think that an F-15 is invincible. Y'all can't even fly an F-35, supposedly the peak of technology, and you got contractors dumping them in Arizona. You know what I'm saying? Like give me a break. Give me a break.
Psychologically speaking, his threats speak volumes of his fear, in my opinion.
That's it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree. Well, let's move on from that. I'm curious what you guys think of this rogue juror that might have thrown the entire Trump conviction into question. What your thoughts are in this situation. So in case anyone's been under a rock for the last week or so, you had a juror come out and make or not a juror, a self-proclaimed shit poster on Facebook, make a post on Southern District of New York, one of their public court pages on Facebook, talking about how their cousin was a juror during the Trump trial and that Donald Trump is about to be convicted. They said it, I think, like 24 hours before the conviction came out. The New York law is that if a juror speaks about the case outside of where they're supposed to, it's an automatic retrial. The conviction is basically vacated, void, no longer valid. Judge Merchan wrote a letter to both parties about this, so it seems to have some air of legitimacy. What do you think is going on with that? What's your take on that?
Kevin, what are you going to go first? Go ahead. Oh my gosh.
What is my take on that? It's like, I don't know what happened with that. It's like, I could see in an act of hubris doing such a thing. It would seem like very cocky and on brand. Did it really happen? I don't know. The judge reacted to it. And I mean, where do you go from there? It's like, I would say that because the judge reacted to it, that would be, I mean, it's in the record now. It's like, I don't know the law on it, but I have a feeling that it would be a mistrial. I mean, it just on that merit that the judge didn't, I mean, it speaks to his, what is it I'm looking for? It's like, it speaks to his merit that if a judge handled the case and reacted to something like that, which was unfounded for all intents and purposes, I'd call a mistrial on that because the judge was incompetent. I mean, maybe I'm just having wishful thinking. That's my thought on it. I don't know if it's intelligent what I just said, but that's my feeling on it.
Well, the fact that he reacted to it, and we talked about this, when it happened, makes me think that they've done at least some due diligence on who the poster was and probably confirmed that they did have some connection to one of the jurors. So it's interesting. I guess it's like where does it go from here, or how will this be used, right? Like, what are the implications? Does a new trial mean a new judge? Does it give an opportunity for a change in venue, since it kind of shows that the jury can't really be trusted in Manhattan for a politically charged case like this, such a unbalanced demographic there. Is this being used in some way to benefit the narrative, right? They're getting killed in the polling over the conviction. It's not having the effect they want. Um, they I don't think they want to actually throw Donald Trump in jail. I think that would be the worst thing they could do for what they're trying to accomplish, honestly. Is this a way out, to keep the narrative of a conviction while saying, well, yeah, he's a convicted felon, but he got off on a technicality, and just dismiss the case. Like, I feel like there's a number of ways this could be handled, but I don't really have like a cold read on it. You know what I mean?
But at the same time, like that in itself would be a pretty fatal move, in my opinion, because then it brings into light like this entire thing is as politicized and fluid as just as we've been saying it is. Like, it proves another conspiracy theory. Like, someone in the federal government has a rudder that is steering this shit, and it's not fair and unbalanced. So it's like, and then again, if like you dismiss it because of this, you say it's a mistrial because of this, then again you've given even more wind in the sails for Donald Trump. Like, they're purposely trying to not give him a fair trial. Like, these people are obviously swayed, and these experts on this high profile case, we're paying these lawyers how much, you know what I'm saying, to vet these people, and this judge how much to vet these people. And you've got their cousins making Facebook posts about how they're gabbing it up. You know what I mean? So at this point, I don't know if you climb out of what they've done. And that's kind of the whole point. And that's the panic, that we're talking about. I'm not talking about like a long-standing panic that's been going on forever, but this is totally not what they expected. They did a big old misread on this.
Unless they did.
Maybe.
And the only reason why I say unless they did is because they've been talking a lot about moderating speech online for misinformation, disinformation, and malinformation. And this could set a case for further restricting free speech online.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yep, that's true.
That's very interesting. My read on it is someone legitimately fucked up. Like, a juror legitimately fucked up. Because it took a week for them to come out with this, right? So I feel like someone legitimately fucked up.
Someone already did, yeah.
They saw it. They could have halted like the deliberations when they saw that, or stopped the conviction from going through until they figured out if it was legitimate or not. But they waited a week. So it was like they knew that happened. It was right there on their Facebook page. They needed the narrative. They want to call him a convicted felon so badly. So they held on to it. They waited for the conviction to come through. They waited for the media to run their cycle on the conviction, say all the things that they want to say. The truth or the lie gets halfway around the world before the truth puts its pants on, kind of deal. They got their narrative, and now they have to now deal with this. And how they're going to deal with it, I don't know. But that's what it feels like to me, is someone legitimately screwed up. They're trying to salvage it by getting the narrative out there and letting the narrative sink in before they figure out how to do damage control. And what that damage control is going to be, I don't know. But man, I hope they have to retry it. And I wonder if they even will. I wonder if they even will, because then they have the possibility of an acquittal or a hung jury, and what does that do to the
Oh
narrative?
Lord. Oh Lord, no, not another few weeks of Stormy Daniels. Please don't do this to us.
Michael
No.
Cohen again doing glizzies
Ah!
on TikTok talking about Donald Trump.
But that's
You guys, you know, I don't think she minds stretching out her testimony.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude. Now I have to ask you, did you make that comment because you were traumatized at the airport? Is this like
No,
subversion?
that's just what I do. I come up with one-liners.
Oh, I know. I've been a viewer of yours for quite a while now. I know.
No, I honestly did. I was eating my breakfast, and actually it was a good place, by the way. I was surprised I was able to get actual like over easy eggs with some hash browns and some decent bacon at the airport. But I'm just sitting there eating. I'm like, it's something. I'm telling you, I was like, oops, wait a minute, what did I do? Oops, sorry. I don't know why I got audio somewhere. Okay, my bad. Yeah, no, I honestly, I felt violated, like to the point where I wanted to file something, and maybe I'll say something more. I don't know. It was not right. It was not okay.
Then do that. Do say something. Definitely.
Yep.
Do not let them E. Jean Carroll you.
Never ever.
Yeah. That's why I think that they're gonna, if they do have to vacate this conviction, I don't think they try it again, guys. I know there was a suit or a gold pill chat here that just said thank you to No Thanks Joe. Says they're so stupid that they're only thinking 6 more weeks of stuck in court and new gag order. I don't know. Like you seriously take the risk of all kind of things happening. Like I said, a change in judge can make a huge difference. A change in jury pool can make a huge difference. If you do that and you lose, then all of a sudden you've lost your whole convicted felon narrative that you worked so hard to achieve. By just dismissing it, then you could literally just keep your narrative. Well, he was technically convicted, but he just got off on a technicality, and then they can run with that. It's almost like an escape hatch, where they kind of get the best of both worlds there. They're not going to imprison him or look like the tyrants that they are as much, while they can still sit there and badmouth him and defame him to the general public without any real retort as far as whether or not he was convicted. So that's kind of where my head's at, is how they're going to try to use this, whether it was intentionally done or not.
I think they're going to stick with their narrative anyway. I mean, like, look at them. They stick with the impeached thing. They're like, oh, he was impeached, and he never was.
Twice impeached.
Well, he wasn't impeached. He was acquitted both times, but he was.
Well, yes, their way is like it was a done deal, though. It's just they don't deal in reality.
It's the same feeling as the label of convicted felon for the impeachment. They just wanted to be able to say impeachment. They didn't care what it was for.
Right.
Yeah. But now everybody is tired of freaking Ukraine, so it's like bring that one up, and everybody's like, "Fuck Ukraine," you know. And then it's like both impeachments have been debunked and crapped on. So yeah, the convicted felon is absolutely necessary for them. They have to call him something. It can't be former President Trump. Can't do that.
All right. Speaking of Ukraine, check this out. Ukraine's Azov Brigade now eligible to receive U.S. weapons training. Right? So Ukraine's Azov Brigade, the neo-Nazis in Ukraine, in case anyone doesn't really understand what the Azov Brigade is, it's literal Nazis, has cleared a review hurdle on its path and is eligible to receive weapons and training from the United States. A new analysis found no evidence that the unit, a part of Ukraine's National Guard, has committed gross human rights. The U.S. State Department confirmed to the Epoch Times in a June 11 statement, quote, after a thorough review, Ukraine's 12th Special Forces Azov Brigade passed Leahy vetting as carried out by the U.S. Department of State, a spokesperson said. Foreign military and police units must first undergo a process known as a Leahy, I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, vetting before they can receive U.S. funded assistance. The purpose of the vetting process is to ensure compliance with the Leahy Law, a set of statutes prohibiting U.S. assistance to foreign security units when there is credible information that the unit has committed a gross violation of human rights, such as arbitrary killing, torture, or rape. There are two similar yet specific sets of Leahy regulations for the U.S. Department of State Defense, respectively. Both sets allow funding to resume after the foreign government takes steps to correct the violations and hold perpetrators accountable. The Azov Brigade, which is now eligible for the same access to U.S. arms as other Ukrainian units, took to social media to celebrate the successful vetting. Quote, eligibility for U.S. assistance will not only increase Azov's combat effectiveness, but most importantly, will help save the lives and health of the brigade's personnel, the unit said in a June 11th post on X. This is a new page in the history of our unit. Azov is becoming more professional and more effective in defending Ukraine against the invaders. The brigade evolved from the Azov Battalion, a nationalist volunteer militia whose insignia includes a white sunwheel and a black wolfsangle. The use of such symbols has caused alarm in both the West and Russia, and President Vladimir Putin's administration has accused Ukraine of embracing neo-Nazism. Formed in 2014, the battalion fought alongside Ukrainian government forces against Russian-backed separatists for control over the breakaway regions of Donetsk and Luhansk, collectively known as Donbass in eastern Ukraine. It was formally incorporated into the Ukrainian National Guard later that year under new command and was redesigned as the Azov Regiment. So the United States is now going to be officially directly supplying the neo-Nazi battalion in Ukraine. It's just, I mean, what can you even say about this? It's so.
I thought that they split up the Azov guys and had put all their command structure amongst other units on frontline Ukraine. Isn't that what they told us when there was a holdup about the Azov like 2 fundings ago? It's hard to keep track of how many times we funded these assholes.
I know.
But I know that they the mainstream media, because I remember the New York Times. I wish I still had it pinned on top of my X profile. The New York Times put out that article where it's like Nazi symbolism on the front lines of Ukraine. It's super complicated, but trust us, they're not Nazis. And they went through all of this, how the Azov battalion guys are essentially idolizing neo-Nazi music groups that are out of the UK, and then like there's actual like history behind all this neo-Nazi symbolism, but just because they're wearing it doesn't mean that they are it, but they are doing it in support of it. And they're like, it's totally complicated, but trust us on this one. I was like, what the hell? So yeah, this is news to me because I thought the Azov guys got split up.
I thought so too, and it just shows, you know, the West's willingness to support Nazism when it's convenient to them. I mean, you remember in Canada, didn't they have like an SS officer get like a standing ovation in their parliament, you know, for fighting Russians in World War II? Like, it was unbelievable. Like, these people are.
And John Stewart pinned a medal on a Nazi too.
Yeah, it's amazing the hypocrisy.
I'm sorry, John Leibowitz.
Yeah. John
That
Stewart.
Canadian debacle.
That'd be really fucked up if John Stewart did.
And then clap. All right.
Did you guys see that when Nancy ran to the TV to defend herself that about revisionist history, that she was only wearing a Ukraine lapel pin?
Interesting.
Not one of the American ones in the Ukraine ones, just the Ukraine one. And then she said, let me find the clip because it's ridiculous, because she's talking about how the flag is sacred, and that's the only thing she has on her pin.
That's incredible.
I don't need to show you the clip. That's basically the gist of it. She was talking about how like Trump and the supporters on that day, and we're not supporting the country and the flag, and then that's all she has on her lapel.
That's incredible.
I will never forget the
Which
day
she means it. I guess
up.
I guess she really means that. She means they were not supporting Ukraine.
What are you saying, Kevin?
I will never forget the day she tore up the State of the Union address.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Where were you in your process then when she did that?
And where was I in my process? I don't know.
Like in like political awakening, you mean?
Oh, I was still Cassandra at that time. I was waking up. I was just wiping the
Would you say
sleep
that would
out of
be
my
like
eyes.
one of the many catalysts that kind of was part of it?
I would say that watching, looking at the politicians and what they were supporting and how they were totally okay with getting kids involved in adult themed venues. Yeah, 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 that was definitely part of it. And watching a member of watching the Speaker of the House tear up the was she the Speaker at that time? I don't know if she
Yeah.
was the Speaker at that
Yes, she
time.
was.
Yeah, but to sit there behind the President of the United States and tear up the State of the Union address, I was like, huh, that's different. I don't think that's acceptable at all.
And there's a huge contrast too, right? And I think it shows part of the problem with Republicans is Nancy Pelosi tore up that speech and was completely unapologetic about it. Mike Johnson rolled his eyes a few times and came out and gave like an apology for doing that during Joe Biden's speech. You know what I mean? Like the willingness of one side to fight and get a little bit dirty versus the Republicans just absolute unwillingness to do anything is so evident, even in the little things like that. Again, she can rip up the speech, make a huge thing of it, and be a hero. Mike Johnson rolls his eyes and feels the need to apologize to Joe Biden for rolling his eyes behind him during the State of the Union. This is what we're dealing with here. This is the warriors we have fighting for us. It's pathetic. Anyway, it's time to go exclusively to pill.net for hour number 2. Those of you guys watching on Rumble, please find the link in the video description beneath the live stream. I'll put the link in the live chat as well. I'll throw it over on D Live too. Make it real easy for you guys. If for whatever reason you can't get to the links, go to pill.net in your browser and find us at 412 Productions over there. I'm going to play a quick video. We'll be back in 60 seconds to officially say goodbye to all the other platforms. We'll catch up on your gold pills when we come back as well. And lots more to get into today. We got to talk about Merrick Garland and that whole situation. Some interesting developments there. And we'll see what else we get into along the way as well. But we'll be right back.
Pill.net is proud to host 412 Productions, exclusively on the true home of free speech. To continue watching the show, we are here to help you over to Pilled. If you're new to the platform, just click on the welcome link provided. It will then automatically walk you through signing up for your free account. If you already have a Pill.net account, follow the link provided directing you straight to 412 Productions channel. We are excited to have you join the Pilled family, and if you have any questions at all, please email support@Pill.net. Enjoy the rest of 412 Productions on Pill.net. Free speech lives here.
All right, we're about to jump in. All right, we are back. Big thank you to everyone who has hopped over from the other platforms. We really appreciate everyone who does that. If you're not going to jump over to pill.net, no worries. I will be back tomorrow, Thursday, 4 p.m. with Frankie Valve, the Quite Frankly Show, Zach Payne of Red Pill 78 for another installment of Taking It Back. Will be broadcasted and syndicated over on Badlands Media and live across all of our platforms for the full hour. So we look forward to that. And then on Friday, we've got Ben and Tina Garrison of GurGraphics.com, hopefully wrapping up the week with us. Hopefully Ben's feeling better and able to join us this week. We had to push it back last week. So again, thank you to everyone popping over. Those links are in the description on Rumble, in the live chat on Rumble, and in the live chat on D Live. Otherwise, have an awesome rest of your Wednesday. And yeah. We'll see you guys over on pill.net for hour number 2.